about why did I subject myself to being arrested for the first time in 73 years? Good question. My name is Miriam Kasia. I'm a retired psychotherapist from North Liberty and a member of 100 Grannies for a Livable Fossil-Free Future. I am working full-time for the Earth to preserve a livable future for all species. I stand before you today, and thanks for you all for being here, with all the Bakken 30 people who were arrested, cuffed, and jailed for the crime of trespassing to protect our land, water, and our lives.
Yeah.
We grannies never imagined spending our golden years fighting our own government so that our grandchildren would still have a livable planet where they can raise their children. Frankly, the future of life on Earth is not looking good. Even as nations collectively agreed in Paris last year that we must work together on a global scale to dramatically reduce our carbon load in our atmosphere, we continue to increase our greenhouse gas output, largely from the fossil fuel frenzy, even as the United Scientific Global Community tells us we must keep it in the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Climate disruption is happening faster than climate scientists ever predicted, and we are facing irreparable tipping points beyond which our ecosystems cannot recover. Building this pipeline and pumping 1 million gallons per hour of crude oil makes Iowa complicit in the destruction of the future of our planet Earth.
Right.
So why have I resorted to becoming what my daughter calls her outlaw mom? Thousands of Iowa citizens, just ordinary people like the 100 Grannies, have made phone calls, written letters, sent emails, signed petitions, filed electronic comments on the IUB website, marched in parades, sent letters to editors and opinion editorials to our local newspapers, held rallies and marches, attended Dakota Access information meetings for a lot of misinformation, testified at the one and only public IUB hearing, contacted our legislators and our governor, dropped banners from bridges, participated in flotillas down Iowa rivers, held news conferences, filed lawsuits, and made as much noise in as many ways as we could think of to demonstrate how serious we are about protecting Iowa's soil and water from the terrible threat this pipeline poses to Iowa and the Earth. We have also stood in solidarity with the landowners who have been forced to sacrifice their land through the illegitimate use of eminent domain solely for the private profit of an out-of-state corporation. Risking arrest through nonviolent direct action or civil disobedience is the only avenue left to me to fight this ultimate injustice. We have tried everything else. Why have our efforts been in vain? So that this volatile, polluting, earth-destroying crude oil can be fracked, piped across 4 states, and transported to the Gulf to be exported on the world market to the highest bidder and burned to increase the carbon in our atmosphere. Today, I am talking about fear and grief. It is not just mine or the grannies. It is a deepening sorrow that is spreading across our communities and throughout Iowa, from sea to shining sea, and around the world. I am heartbroken that I must fight my own government for the safety and security it is sworn to protect. The only reason to build this pipeline and continue to pollute our atmosphere, land, and water is greed.
Right. That's right.
We are taking this to President Obama.
Yep. Yeah.
Before the KXL pipeline was denied, he said, and I quote, "Our national interest will be served only if this project does not significantly exacerbate the problem of carbon pollution," unquote. This DAPL Bakken pipeline cannot pass this test, and it will be stopped. democratic rights. Iowa, this is not a done deal. In the words of Nelson Mandela, it always seems impossible until it's done.
Kathy Meyer, and I'm fighting the Bakken pipeline for so many reasons. I can go on and on. So, I'm fighting Bakken because I'm deeply disturbed that the IUB, which consists of 3 people who were appointed by the governor, not voted in by the voters, granted a hazardous liquid permit to Bakken with little or no input from the voters. I'm fighting Bakken because granting the power to seize land from their rightful property owners for the benefit of a multi-billion-dollar private corporation is an egregious and blatant abuse of eminent domain. I'm fighting Bakken because they were allowed to begin construction without doing any review to determine the disastrous impact of moving hazardous, toxic, volatile crude under farmland, rivers, wildlife management areas, nature trails, wetlands, grasslands, as well as land that is sacred to Native Americans. I'm fighting Bakken because we need to invest more in renewable energy sources and wean ourselves off of fossil fuels. I'm fighting Bakken as a water protector because our streams, rivers, lakes, and aquifers are not unlimited resources. There will be a leak, and it will have far-reaching, devastating consequences on our environment, our drinking water, our very lives. For this reason, I urge everyone to pressure President Obama and the Army Corps of Engineers to revoke, repeal, reject, deny any permit for this pipeline or any other pipeline.
That's right.
I'm fighting back because I'm enraged and heartbroken by the treatment of the Native Americans by not just the pipeline company, but our own government. I stand with Standing Rock. We all stand with Standing Rock.